Hello, welcome back to my next episode. So I saw the video, it got 60 views. My minimum to make an episode 2 was like 20. So I hit my goal for sure. Anyway, today's goal is gonna be getting some power. Namely, making a good old sawmill tree farm. I'm sure I'll do more this episode, maybe not. But yes, so I need this. This is actually pretty easy to make. And yeah, so I want this. We're gonna process them through a combination oven, which will give us some wood oil and some charcoal, which will give us a nice early game source of power. We can also directly burn it in the wood generators, but come on, that's for newbies. We're not at that stage. 1, 2, 3, and then let's get started here with our first goal. And that is to be making these combination ovens in the first place. So I think I'll just have, I don't know, 2 of them. Because I don't know how fast they run, but they seem to be free. They do require heat though. So I'll probably have to cook something up with that. They also make wood oil. So for the next few in-game hours, I decided to just go mining and research some of the recipes for the combination oven / combination furnace. And I also looked at a few tutorials on how to get the combination furnace working, and that's basically what I did for the next few hours. So while I was researching, I noticed I was running pretty low on my pre-existing food supplies, so I decided to make a farm to plant some strawberries down. It also doubled as a farm for some hemp, which I then used to make insulators as well, which you need for a bunch of machinery, which you'll see later in this episode. Next, I decided to go on one of the many mining trips in this episode. I was looking for an ore called cobalt, since it is required to progress, as you need it for making high-speed steel, or HSS steel, and you also need it for a cobalt pickaxe, which you can mine redstone ore with, or just any other ore blocks, which you'll see why it's important later in the episode. But I couldn't really, for the life of me, actually find any, so this is a clip of me kind of crashing out. I can find a cave. I'm back with a slight haul of iron and a bit of limestone. They would have wanted more, but it is whatever. What I'm really after is this limestone, because I can use it for a bunch of stuff. Now, the stuff I could use fire clay for was following. I could use it for fire bricks, first of all. It was a great source of fire bricks, as I could combine it with some other materials to make some. And another important thing later down the line is hematite processing, which I can make a lot of iron from. It does not completely replace, actually, using iron ore for steel, because iron ore for steel is still 3 times more efficient. But it is a pretty good substitute if I don't want to go mining for hours for some iron. So yeah, I'd say it was a pretty good mining haul in terms of limestone, however, like completely horrendous in terms of cobalt. Then I decided to build a bunch more furnaces because I was running like ridiculously low on them. I only had 4 furnaces at the time, and in my first playthrough I used the iron furnace, but I mean, I could just make more normal ones, so I just decided to go with that. And later this would be moved into my actual base, because this right now is all temporary. So for the good old combination oven, I need some logs, of course, and I need some cast copper plates. So now I can show off the ability of this here, this cast plate mold. All I do is I throw in my copper powder. It'll nice to get it right into here. And it will come out as a cast plate. Each cast plate is worth 3 normal plates. There you go. Yes. And I need some bricks. I'll be running 2 combination ovens. I hope that'll be enough. Anyway, enough yapping. So what I basically just decided to do next was just smelt up some, some cobblestone so I can get some more stone. And also mine a bunch of trees in preparation for the tree farm. Now, this may or may not have been a kind of big mistake, which you'll see later in the episode, because it kind of led to something very annoying, but also kind of funny, which you will see very soon. I don't know how soon is still 5 minutes into editing this video, so I really have no fucking idea. Now we have everything we need. We have fire brick, we have stone, and I forget the normal bricks which we needed. We got 2 of these combination ovens now. Next, I was low-key just figuring out how the combination oven worked and what the exact power ratio was. I was more so wondering if it could fuel itself. Also, at this point, for some reason, I'd completely forgotten about the fact that I wanted to use a sawmill in this build, because it was right before my math exam, and I looked at no brain power left. Okay, it's definitely a net positive on fuel. That is for sure. That is. So anyway, now I had began building my tree farm after a few hours of, I don't fucking know. Honestly, I have no idea why this video is so long. I'm not doing much. But yeah, basically, I started building my actual tree farm here. And I had to make a collection pit in the middle that would fill with the logs that get pushed. Crazy production quality increase on the voiceover, I know. And the problem is, I kind of had no idea how to do this, since this was my first time, you know, actually making a tree farm with this mod. So I kind of just decided to
spruce just because that's 4 in a row, and you can play 3 more of them, so that's
yeah, so honestly, I just started building according to this tutorial. Shout out to Stained Steel, who's the one who inspired me to make this in the first place, along with Hecuba, which I'll put his channel up on the screen right now. Both of them inspired me to make this playthrough. But anyway, I followed their advice, or sorry, his advice, on how to make this, and I kind of just followed along and tried to make something that was the same as what they did. So yeah, that's basically what I did here. Okay, so now we've got the approximate frame here down of the buzzsaw. Then I'll just fill this in with wood dirt. So wow, would you look at that? Magically made itself here. Right, so now I'll just have to fill in these little corner thingies here, which I will show sped up. And then I'll have to extend this by 1 more block. I'll need an approximate 41 fans, which aren't too bad to make. So I'll get on that right now. Yeah, so my ass was lying. Those fans were not easy to make at all. It required about 160 ingots of iron, so I needed to get my ass on hematite processing, which was actually pretty helpful as it yielded in a lot more iron that I could use as well. So that's what I was kind of focusing on doing then. 2.5 stacks of iron. Yep, that's my life. Okay, so here is an example of what I mean. We have some hematite here, which are huge veins that will last you for a really good amount of time. And we can basically mine them and then process them in our crucible that we made last episode. Pretty good gains on pretty good amount of materials. Each one of these is about half an iron ingot. And these veins really are just massive. So we'll gather a good amount of these. Go. We can land in this water. And what I'm really searching for at the moment is... What I'm searching for at the moment is redstone for the fans, because I'm quite the broker on it. There we go, we're finding a bunch already. Anyway, so I had started recording the next play session a few days later after the play session you guys just watched. Namely, it was on the 2nd of June, which was, I think, 3 or 4 days later from my other recording, meaning there was a lot of time between those two. So I was surprised to see how many views I had actually gotten on my video. And before I launched up Minecraft, I had just decided to watch some more of that, watch some more of the tutorial, the tree farm tutorial, as the goal was to get the tree farm going. And I had also set myself an actual goal for the episode at this point, which was to make that super alloy that you see in the thumbnail. Hello, I was away for a few days, so I couldn't really be at my PC, but now I am back and ready to play more NTM. While I was gone, I noticed that video on NTM Space got quite a good amount of views, so I'm very happy about that. It got 100 views. I said to myself I would continue the series at 50 views, and it seems we have reached that, and we're just about to get 10 likes as well, which is pretty cool. I'm going to continue on the wood farm and show you guys the progress of setting it up. So let me cut to that right now. So this is what we have so far. It's a pretty basic setup. I'm actually kind of scared it'll break the spruce planks because it's a buzzsaw. So if it does that, then it's going to be annoying. But anyway, so the idea is this will get powered by wood oil, which is going to be made by processing those logs in those combination ovens. And we're going to use fans to push all of the logs down here. And we're going to have a little collection space. And under that, I'm going to make a little power generating system, which will also burn some of the wood oil. This entire system self-sufficient and also generate some nice power. Now, I had the original idea of using a boiler to make steam, but I'm not sure. I don't know if the steam can buffer up. And also, on the video that I saw on how to construct one of these, they recommended you to just use wood-burning generators. So I'll make about 5 of them. And yeah, that'll be my early game power generation, I suppose. So that'll be nice and useful. Right, so the fans require a bunch of materials. Each one requires about 4 iron plates and some steel bolts, but I don't care about these are cheap. The main problem here is the iron plates, each one requiring 4. So I need about 40 fans. So I need a bunch of iron plates. Luckily, I have been gathering a bunch of this here hematite, which we're going to do a nice processing with. Now, this hematite, if you smelt it in a crucible, it gives you liquid hematite, which, as you can see right there, it says additive, not castable. If we just combine this hematite with a bit of flux, which you can get from this or limestone, which is a great source of it, we can make liquid iron. So we're going to start processing a bunch of this hematite because we'll be needing a bunch of iron throughout this mod pack. I'm going to be making 2 hoppers as well. One of the hoppers I'm going to have for limestone, and the other hopper I'm going to have for the hematite. So here we just want to select this here hematite. And now that it's set to that, we just put down 2 little hoppers here. And these should input. So I put some of the hematite in here. Also, I'm going to not have this filled with dirt. So we're going to place some here and some here. And now we have a very simple setup for a crucible. We can input the hematite into here. Need to make sure to block off all these outlets. You can see this already smelting. Here we need to place in some limestone, and don't worry, it won't overflow because the devs of this are pretty smart and added some prevention for that. Now we are pretty broke on limestone, but a little bit does go a long way, so that's fine. We know it'll create some iron, and can't forget the fact that it also makes slag. So we're gonna right-click that with a shovel to get iron scraps, and then we can set a filter for these with iron. And then we can use these 2 block molds to just pour out some good old iron. And we'll be getting a bunch of this now. Eventually, this will start outputting slag. Slag is not useless. It actually has its own uses in concrete making. So we're just gonna wait. Also, we're gonna re-smelt that scrap. There you go. We're just gonna wait until it starts outputting slag so you can hit the right filter. And then I believe I'll go mining for some more limestone, because we don't have that much. So, as I said, I did basically just go mining for some limestone. Limestone wasn't the only thing I mined, but along the way, I did find some malachite ore, which I wanted to show you guys real quick. Right, so here we have some malachite, which is similar to hematite, except for copper. So we are going to mark this area, and then we won't have to worry about copper. Now, I spent the rest of my time trying to mine limestone, but then I also realized that cobalt would kind of block progression if I didn't gather it. So I thought, I would just make it a nice secondary mining objective. It was not a secondary mining objective. That shit became the primary objective fast. I had more than a stack of limestone, which one limestone can process insane amounts of iron anyway. But the point is, I went mining for limestone, but then I decided to go get some cobalt as a side quest, and that ended up taking me so much time. You can genuinely hear my reaction after 40 minutes of straight caving and doing a whole lot of nothing. Finding the first piece of cobalt was actually generationally insane. Searching for an ore that does not exist. I've been recording for 30 minutes. Most of those have been mining, and I still can't for the life of me. And cobalt. I haven't even found a single little bit of it. One cobalt ore doesn't even give me a full ingot. It gives me fragments. It gives me a nuggets, basically. I don't know what the fuck that bullshit was. Silent Eye Creeper. Bro, where the fuck is this ore? I've been searching all around for it. I guess. Do you think if I get a volatile creeper to the depth in a bar ore, I can skip the cobalt? Oh, finally. Oh my god, okay. I found our first vein of cobalt. It's not a lot, but 15. Alright. Great. I need to find like another one or two more veins. And then I'm good, basically. Oh, we did it! We found our second piece of cobalt. I swear to God, this has been plaguing me. Alright, see how much we got. But we have enough for a basic pickaxe. But I really want to make the decorated one, which requires a meteorite ingot, which, you guessed it, requires a cobalt ingot. So, we're almost there. We're very close, in fact. The good thing about this cobalt pickaxe is it has silk touch, and it will allow us to pick up the whole cobalt when we find more, which is a 1-to-1, which is great. Yo, can you stop? Can you stop? Alright, now that is definitely enough cobalt for everything I want to do with it. Alright, so I killed myself to return home via return by death, aka keep inventory. And then I decided to just go to this meteorite I had marked out in the first episode to get some of that meteorite powder because I wanted to make a nice super pickaxe that I could use, which you'll see why it's a very cool pickaxe soon enough. We are on our way to that meteorite. By the way, I did definitely like an hour of mining. I don't even know if I've showed any of it if I'll show any of it in the video because it's kind of boring. To be honest, my last video was kind of a mess. I thought it was pretty good when I edited it, and then I watched it myself. It was the biggest mess of stuff. I didn't even know what was going on half the time because I don't think I set any clear goals. It was just kind of some bullshit, but we have some goals this episode. Namely, I'm not sure actually, which is kind of ironic, but it's the goals, trust me. A meteorite treasure block. What do we get? Holy shit, that is lucky. Gonna make so much shit with this. Yada yada yada. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I can yet again kill myself. There we go. Alright. Now we've got these meteorite fragments. This medium powder we can combine with a cobalt ingot for a meteorite ingot. I'm sorry for the mic, that's about to start tweaking out. I have my AC on because it is hot as fuck in Switzerland, which is where I reside in. Anyway, so now I can make a singular meteorite ingot. And now I'm going to make the decorated cobalt pickaxe, which is a cobalt pickaxe and a meteorite ingot. See if you actually have to heat this up. Anyway, while we were gone, this has still been just trucking through the hematite that I gave it. So far we have 30 blocks of iron. Quickly this will start cooling down the moment we take it out. Here we go, we have a decorated cobalt pickaxe. Now this is actually insane. This has Fortune 3, Silk Touch, Flat AoE and AoE, and Vein Miner. Now, to just show you why I really wanted this, it can basically... Okay, bro. It can basically mine all that. Now, with normal AoE, I think it can do more. But this stupid ass gravel is in the way, but it's fine. This will allow us to extend our base. This is great. This is basically like the hammer from, I guess, Thinker's Construct. Of course, I didn't make a whole cobalt pickaxe just to mine a bit and give me more space. The reason I made it will become apparent soon. It's for the mercury that I need in the depth blend. I'll set up a proper storage system. I think, like right now, I usually always delay it, but I think it's smart if I just do it now. I then proceeded to absolutely delay making the storage system and started working on my tree farm instead, which at this point is technically a multi-day project. Get it? Because... Okay. So anyway, I was working on this tree farm, and what I needed to do was get fans on each side, which I had crafted with the insane amounts of iron I had gotten from the mining trip beforehand. And I'll just cut to where I place down all the fans, and you'll see how it looks then. I also had to make a few levers as well. Oh, we have it. Okay, this shit's cooking me. Help! Help me! Oh my god. Wait, let me... Okay. So it definitely works. It's even about to kill me as well. Now we're gonna create a collection spine. We need a bunch of conveyors, and I'm so hyped for this because I've never used conveyors from this model. So I'm really excited to use them. The basic ones will pretty much be enough for everything. So we can use rope, which I think this is what we're gonna go for. This seems simple enough. Takes a bit more iron, but it's not that deep. It takes hemp, which we have a bunch of. So next, I just decided to craft a bunch of conveyor components, like inserters, grabbers, and ejectors, so I can make a few buffers. Pretty sure I also made a bunch of steel freights, so I don't know if I did that before though. And I still am delaying making my storage, because of course I am. But the point is, I made a bunch of conveyor components, and most of them just cost a bunch of iron, which I had anyway, so they weren't much of an issue. And I'm pretty sure I also made an extra heating oven for the other combination oven that I had. Alright, now we have the multi-fluid identifier, which will allow us to coat our pipes. The way pipes work in NTM is different from literally every other tech mod, so let me allow. So allow me to explain it to you real quick. So we have these box ducts, or universal fluid pipes, whatever. These are the ugliest ones because they don't change color when you identify them with something. But basically the way it works is these don't have an internal storage. They instantly, I think they have unlimited throughput. They instantly take from one side of whatever and just put it into something else. And you have to identify them with the correct fluid type. you can do wood oil, and if you shift right click, you can do the entire section of pipe. And this will only allow wood oil to pass through it. So, yeah. And the way you set recipes in machines is also with these food identifiers, I believe. Right, so now that we have that, we can start on our collection thing. This automatic buzzsaw here uses wood oil as fuel, and luckily we get wood oil from what we're doing, so it's pretty nice. Anyway, I want these to go down by 2. But we're gonna have... Crap. There you go. Here I just decided to make a collection pit for the logs and saplings that would come out of the machine. And yeah. Stone dust here. Oh yeah, it seems to work fine. I like these over the immersive engineering belts because these, unlike them, actually don't make the items a full thing. Anyway, so now that we have these, we can... So, we'll automatically create like these shooks and stuff, which is cool. It's a cool new update, I think. I think it did used to do that. You'd have to create everything manually, which is annoying. These are going to fuel some of our heating oven. So it wouldn't hurt if I gave a little bit of breathing room. Alright, there you go. So now I can have do this. And I'll need to make a bunch of these conveyor blocks, but I'm gonna store some of the overflow in here. So here we're gonna use conveyor grabbers to... What are you doing? Conveyor grabbers to grab spruce logs. Please allow me to do this. Thank you. There you go. Now it'll be on the white list. And then this will just pick up the overflow. Now these are going to fuel themselves. Yeah, I don't know why I can't jump that, but whatever. Right. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to have a belt up here. I think this will make sense. I don't actually, do these need a block under them? They don't. Okay, perfect. I am going to do this, so I'm going to make it like that. Boom. There you go. So these are going to eject the charcoal. What the fuck? They're going to eject the charcoal. Yo. These don't seem to be doing any ejecting, bro. Alright, I'm pretty sure I placed them up on any spacing like this. And then I can make like a loop. So, I'm pretty sure the way you do this is you... And then this will constantly loop. I don't know what this is about. Okay, bro. I want it to loop the other direction. This is good, but I want it to loop the other direction. I want it to loop this way. Hey, dude, I actually wish I could adjust the daytime because it's so ridiculous. I work for like a bit and then it's nighttime already. I genuinely hate that about this game. I want longer days. I also want this charcoal to go to some wood burning generators. So, yes. Anyway, the point is I am going to... I feel like I'm going to make a buffer. I genuinely have no clue what the ratio is, so we're just going to vibe it the best way. Just gonna, depending on what power outlet is, okay, so power outlet is that way. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. And I'm simply going to make it go like this, and I can create a buffer. There you go. Bro, why is he doing that? I wish this was like character, Greg, where you can crawl. It's such a good feature that I never knew I would need. Okay, are we? Do that. There we go. Also need some here. 1, 2, 3. This is kind of ugly. Okay. Just for the sake of people with OCD, I'll fix this. There we go. Alright. Now it looks nice and clean. And this can be easily kickstarted. Okay, so now I just need to plant some saplings. So then I proceeded to do exactly that. I planted some saplings and also realized that the pipes were kind of making the wood generators taking everything. And then something kind of funny happened. Not very funny to me, but probably funny to you. Alright, so we... Okay, so that's exactly what I did not want to happen. But whatever. For that untimely incident, I had to fill the entire spots that just broke with cobblestone. So if you make a wood farm, do not use wood in between the dirt blocks. I learned that the hard way. Alright, great. So now I should be able to turn these back on again. Then I just decided to make a loop for the logs because I noticed the conveyor grabbers were not grabbing it fast enough. And a lot of it went into the steel crate. So I thought that if I just made it loop around, then it would, pick it all up. I had some troubles placing the ejector. I eventually got it working, and it was looping. Now some spruce planks got into the system, so I set a log filter whitelist so that only the logs would come through. And the plank side, it didn't really matter. It didn't really clog anything up because I set the whitelist. So then everything got, fueled, and I could actually make power out of this system. Anyway, friends, there we go. So, we have made it. We have made a fully automatic tree farm using a buzzsaw that's all self-sufficient, using spruce, which will give us building blocks too. We can't forget that. So yeah, that's cool. So now that we have that, we are also making a bit of power. I don't know exactly how much, but well, it's enough. And then when this is all properly buffered up, such as not now, because it is not properly buffered up, this will start making a bunch of energy for us. I don't know about the pollution it makes. Talking about pollution, I'm pretty sure those are enemy nests. Oh, isn't that amazing? I'm absolutely not a fan of that. But besides, we are chilling. Is it nighttime again? Oh, it's a solar eclipse. That's pretty cool. Anyway, now I am going to make a storage system in 3, 2, 1. So then I made a storage system with a few categories to store my stuff better because my previous system of having 2 double chests and some random steel crates lying around was not really doing it for me. So yeah. And then I slept the night away and then proceeded to work to my next goal the next day. Of course, first I checked how much energy my power plant actually even made. It's not bad. How much is that per tick though? That's 500.5 kHe per tick. Hey, I'm not complaining. This yeah, it's actually not bad. Yo, it's actually decent. Like, it's not enough for any of these recipes, but hey, it's not bad. What about for like a basic, for like a basic mold recipe or like a dense. Holy shit, this is insane. Okay, but yeah, like welded steel plate, like yeah, it can keep up. This is pretty decent. It's a lot better than my super ass steam boiler, and hey, it makes even more if all the charcoal things are burning. Speaking of charcoal, this is officially backlogged, so this is completely working now. After all that, I decided to go and back to the strange stone that I found and tried to Swift touch it, which ended up not working for some reason, even though I saw it clearly work on someone else's world. I low-key just cheated one in for myself. I'm not sure if it was bugged or whatever, but I mean, yeah, I noticed I couldn't even use creative mode to cheat it, and so I have to like give it to myself to J, but that's basically what happened here.
There's another one in here. Is this it? How did you survive? So it's a revive thing, okay. Nah, come on. I really want to give myself one more, but okay. I'm not allowed to. Oh, we found another one. We can continue. Anyway, that's cool. Now, how I progress is I make the machines I need to progress, which I can finally look in the quest book again because I've been on the fattest side quest of all time. This is not required at all, by the way. I don't think I've seen anyone use this. I need an arc welder and a soldering station. So these are the two things I'm going to work towards getting now.
Arc welder. Great. Okay, so there you go. Arc welder has been acquired. Soldering station. Not missing anything. Can make it right here. All right. Now we have about everything we need to get into oil processing. The goal of this episode will be to get Desh ingots. So, our first Desh ingot. So, we are out of the early game. We are pretty much well within oil capabilities. We need a derrick, basic oil processing, blah, 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 blah. We need analog circuit boards. That's the main problem. So, I am going to make 8 of these, which should be enough, I think. Then I decided to batch craft a bunch of components for the analog circuits, and also just look what I could make with them. I needed them for an oil derrick that I was gonna, oil refinery that I was gonna make because I wanted to get into actually making oil products like plastic and Desh, which is the end goal of this video. So I decided to just make up like a good batch of components. So I made 8 analog circuits, which I could also use in the future for other stuff. And then I could get into oil processing, which you'll see right now.
This is making good amount of Durasteel. I like how it's called Durasteel. It's Star Wars.
That was seriously sweet, player! That's right! Let's keep crafting! That player can craft on its own, but it's slow! After creating an entire oil refinery, even you must be somewhat burnt out. I'll settle this. Micro-crafting blast! The DirectTech player's technique? I thought he was more than just a vanilla player. I figured he had a different technique from him. But I was wrong! His real technique is infinite free time! After everything, there was still more crafting! This is what modded Minecraft is like. Now we're done. What? What is he after? Thank you.
Next episode, we're going to be making our spacesuit and getting ready. There's still a lot between us and the stars. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please do not forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next episode.